Hello people of YouTube and beyond, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today we have, welcome to Bruticus Day 5, where we have Onslaught, who is probably, okay, he's not the worst figure of the set, but he's certainly the most disappointing. Mostly because this is what he has to go up against. A figure that's actually bigger than him, and that's one of the biggest problems with this figure. He's a deluxe, with other deluxes for limbs. I mean, that's a huge problem. We'll get to that more when we get to Bruticus tomorrow, but you'll see why that's such a huge problem. So there he is next to his G1/RIG counterpart, who looks 10 times better in my opinion. Here he is next to Swindle as a foot. Here he is next to Blastoff. And here he is next to Sound Blaster. So yeah, this is his vehicle mode. You can see it kind of going for the same kind of Jeep thing, but kind of less of like a tow truck kind of thing this is going for, and more of a kind of just a pickup truck that's missing its back. That's basically what it is. Why? What is the point of this? It literally could have been just a vehicle on two wheels, except that he needs legs. Oh my god. And the colors... Okay, I think Swindle got off the worst of the colors, just because... I mean, I know these are actually pretty close to his G1 colors, but the bright yellow and purple just looks weird sometimes. Especially when the yellow is like the overpowering part. And the blue and green here looks good, it's just... I don't know. I like the green here. I think it's the green up here that bugs me. This swamp green that they're using for the arms in the Top Gun thing. That's the other thing. He needs the weapon for his vehicle mode, because all the others were just optional weapons. He loses his gun, and yeah, it's Bruticus playing peekaboo. It's just a pair of arms sitting up there without the weapon. He actually needs his weapon to make his vehicle mode actually look halfway decent. Not even decent, just halfway decent. Without it, it's just complete crap. One cool thing, since it does have these green stripes on the front and back, you can actually take these spikes back here, flip them back, and you can kind of make a full stripe effect going. And it looks okay. He has the Decepticon symbol. He does have a good detail. He has nice black he's got the painted detail. The black does kind of smudge it out a bit, but there is a lot of nice detail here. You got some kind of headlights here, even if they're not painted. I do like how they managed to do the wheel here, even though this piece has to hold still. They just have the wheel turn around it. It looks a bit messy with the porch just sticking out there, but what can you do? And the back, there's actually no nice detail on it. It's just kind of sitting there, though. There's actually no nice detail inside, even though that's where the transforming parts go and you can't see it anymore. He's supposed to be like a trailer truck, but it's just... Why this gap here? And it's not like he had to be a deluxe. You actually needed to be a Voyager, so... Hell, you could have kept them the same size, just add more to the back here to make it longer. Then his vehicle would be right. Then he would probably actually be the right size for his Bruticus chest mode. I mean, all the other vehicles resemble the G1s. I mean, even Swindle here, at least he had the whole thing like the G1 where the arms were at the sides, the legs were at the back, the front was like the chest and head. Well, okay, yeah, the backs are the legs. But everything else, well, the original had his head and arms here. This one has the head and arms tucked up inside this part. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. Something about it just does not work. It's so close to being at least kind of cool or unique, but it just barely falls short. Also, these pegs on really weirdly and will not stay on sometimes. It falls off very easily. So yeah. Oh, it does kind of resemble the big barrels that the G1 had. So that's kind of cool. I don't know, this one comes really close to basically just being... Kind of just being a robot pretending to be a car. Two robots pretending to be a car. That's what it feels like. It really does kind of... I mean, I was making fun of Swindle for this yesterday, but this one, at least this resembled a car on top. This doesn't resemble a vehicle from any direction, really. Like I said, just... It's not horrible, it's just really, really disappointing. I mean, the only thing he could probably do is tow somebody. Even then, they're gonna be like, there, Swindle, sit there. Oh, God. Let's get on to transformation, because that actually is the best part about this. He does have a cool transformation. Pop that off. You flip these parts out, of course, to make the arms. Obvious part. Straighten out the arms. Come to the back. It's actually going to peg from this little plate back here, which is actually Bruticus's crotch plate. And it just kind of flips around, and you're going to kind of bring it down a little. Let me show you here, bring it down, and it just flips around to form the leg. Grab this whole part, and it does get basically pulling the legs so the green part comes out, because that's his crotch. Grab the Bruticus plate back here and just kind of fold it up. Straighten the legs out, which do have ratchets because these are also Bruticus's hips. Grab Bruticus's head. Let's move it. I might have to move the plate out of the way. Grab Bruticus's head and just kind of push it back. Oh god, the robot head's... Even his transformation, it's kind of fun, gets messed up because these parts can get moved around to where he can't transform right. Basically, the head has to be facing forward straight in order to click in properly. And fold that plate back up. And you're just going to bring the arms down to where you're kind of just facing forward. And there is Onslaught. Alright, now we have Onslaught in his robot mode, and this is where things fall apart even further. Alright, size comparisons. Here he is next to Swindle as a foot. RIDG1. And yeah, he's actually taller. The G1 is taller than the new one. And it's not like a just barely thing, he's got a whole head above him. And better proportions, and bulkier. What the, Blast off. Much better figure than the Onslaught here. And of course, Sound Blaster. Oh god, let's just take a look at him. Alright. If you were to take him, hold him like this, covering up his arms, he would actually look alright. He looks okay. Not amazing, but okay. Then you look at the arms. Okay, again, actually, even leaving the shoulders in, he looks okay. Then we look at the arms. Okay. Then we look at the arms. Look at these scrawny, tiny, puny little things. It's not like they have to be small. The only purpose was to cover up Bruticus's head, basically. Which would actually give it more reason to be bigger. So why are these tiny, scrawny little things? You wanna know why? It's for the chest transformation, basically. But even there, it could have made him bigger, just had him like turning the panels or something. Another thing, he actually has the same hands as Swindle, and he actually has the same hand. Those same hands are actually reused for both Goldfire and Scoop, I believe, or at least they have a very similar mold on those. But they're actually the exact same hands as Swindle, as you can see. I would put them next to each other. Yeah. Basically the exact same hands. Which is kind of interesting if you think about it, but... Well, let's look at the actual sculpting. The head is actually pretty good. I do like this head on Onslaught. It is a very Onslaught head. Definitely reminds me of this big guy over here. He's got the visor, he's got the kind of roundish head with the big mouth plate that kind of sticks out. The chest is just the front of the vehicle. This is just the top of the vehicle, like the back of the vehicle, so it's actually kind of a new detail. But it's just so dark, there's really not much to it, and just some lines that kind of give it a shoulder blade look. Also, this crotch plate for Bruticus flops all around. It's supposed to stay there, but it comes out extra. Oh, now you want to stay in there. Oh, you know, look. When I want to show on video camera, of course, it actually works out like it should. The arms, of course, are these scrawny little things that just look pathetic. He does have the waist that has some nice detail in there, and I actually went through and make it black to give it more detail. He does have some nice detail in the hips there. That is pretty cool. Although when you move the leg outward, the hips don't move with it, so when you put the leg out, it actually looks a little broken. And of course, there's actually a lot of nice detail in the legs from the vehicle. That side's basically just the vehicle, but This was actually originally flipped inside when the vehicle was like this. So, that's actually a lot of new detail there. It looks nice. Except for, the hollowed out bits. I can't do anything right. I really just do not care for this robot mode. Articulation, he has a ball joint at the head. Can look up and down a little bit. But he's going to look down, I don't know, considering his soldiers are the same size as him. His arm does not have a full 360. In this day and age of Transformers, we can't have an arm on him that does a full 360. It stops there for vehicle transformation. That's it. That's all he can do. That far and that far. Not even a 180. Okay, barely a 180, but still, that's bullcrap for Transformers. He has a ball joint that goes out this way for some reason. And I don't even know why that ball joint exists. I guess it's for when he transforms, but why? Why make it this weird and then just, And that's his only outward arm movement. Because the arm, of course, does not go out. And then swivel, of course, and then elbow. Swivel at the waist. Ratchet hips. Swivel. And come forward to, and then also ratchet that way, and he has a knee. And of course, his feet are actually sculpted to slant to where he can actually have his legs wide apart, which is cool, but why were the arms designed? Well, the whole arms, my biggest problem with the figure is that the arms are just a complete mess. Yes, he has Bruticus pieces on the back, but the arms had no reason to be designed this way. In all three modes, they're actually really crappy because of how they're designed this way. Granted, yes, for Bruticus mode, if it only goes far, it's actually locked in a bit better, but if it's moving around, it's going to move around no matter what, so that's still going to be a problem, even if they can only go so far. I mean, look at this. It hinders articulation here. It looks crap in vehicle mode. And even in Bruticus mode, it still doesn't look good. Why? Why'd they cram all this onto a Deluxe? Even as a Voyager would be bad, but at least he'd be bigger and the right size. Why are his arms this way at any form? Can he only do 180? Why do his arms look broken when he does anything? Why do they look like they're not his arms? Anything Hasbro, Takara, both of you, what the heck? Oh god, this figure, that's all I have to say about this figure. That is all I have to say about this figure. Just how scrawny he is, how he needs to be a Voyager. Even Energon got that right. They were Deluxes, the big guys were Deluxes, yes, but his limbs were Scout class, to where they weren't huge, but that's for another time. Also, these arms pop off really easily, because of the kind of ball joint they have. And then pop them back in to pain the butt. The proportions are just weird. The arms look broken and just not like they don't belong to him. They only have his gun. Almost forgot about this thing. It's not really going for the G1 gun. It's kind of going for more how these looked. Which would look fine if these can actually go on his back, but they can't. They can go on Bruce's back, but they can't go on Onslaught's back. You can kind of sit them there and kind of balance, but they're not going to stay there. And as a weapon, it just looks ridiculous. It looks like it's just too big. For Bruticus, it looks fine because Bruticus is huge. On him, it looks stupid. It looks like he's waving around a fan. Let me fan you. Fan the better toy. Fan it. Oh, I'm getting stupid now. It doesn't even look like a gun because they actually hauled out the bottom. So it doesn't even look like a proper gun. It just looks like he has a piece of wreckage he found. One good thing you do is because of how it's attached to a vehicle mode, you can kind of have it facing backwards and you can give him a shield. Which original Bruticus did have a shield using one of the parts of... Or, I mean, the original Octane did have a... Or Onslaught, I'm sorry. Onslaught did have a shield because he could use the backplate from Bruticus and use that as a shield. So this kind of works. The one thing that works... And it only works because you're using the crappy parts together. The parts you're not supposed to use. Oh god. He just doesn't look like this leader. He sacrifices so much for nearly nothing. And I don't know why. He suffers the most and sacrifices the most for nothing. I get it. In the game, they basically look like big blocky... Big things of blocks that have heads and arms attached to them, but this just looks like crap. Let's just give him the Bruticus chest plate mode. So you're going to flip the head back down. Straighten the arms out to where it's kind of in line with this part up here. Flip these out. Flip the crotch plate down back here and flip the legs around. The arms will tuck in and grab this part right here that's sticking out to kind of form this. In the game, they had these spikes that were coming up here like this, and then these spikes come out to the side, which is kind of simulating, but not even close. The crotch kind of just collapses in, pegs in, and flip the feet back out as if you're on a vehicle. And then turn Bruticus' head around. And there it is for Bruticus mode. What in the hell? This down here actually looks okay. This I'm okay with. This up here is what all the sacrifices were for. It doesn't even look good. These don't look like a big chest plate. They tried. It looks very close to being one big chest plate, but still too broken up to be a chest plate. Especially all the joints right here that are so obvious. The head sculpt, I gotta admit, is probably the best Bruticus head sculpt I've ever seen. This is a really, really good head sculpt. He's got his eyes nice and painted. He's got the metallic paint for his antennae and mouth plate. He's got the dark blue all around it and then little green vents just to kind of color it up a bit. It looks good. I like the head. That's the only thing I like, though. And again, this part's okay. I do like how detailed the crotch plate is. It does make it look like it kind of transformed from the vehicle with all these little lights and stuff. It's just this part right here. All these sacrifices for something that looks really stupid. In fact, this actually looks a little better. All the sacrifices for that. We'll talk about this more next time for day 6, where we will cover Bruticus. I'm Nerdy Transformed. I will talk to you tomorrow.